what I've always told my teams is, we ever make a run and play for a state title and win a state title, then because it only officially gets cut after the last loss. So if you win a state title,
I love it. I love it. That's Casey Kolkman, Bluffton head coach. Some words of wisdom right there. He'll be featured during this week's segment of Coach Speak. It'll air Sunday night in the 11 o'clock news.
He's got that Jim the Anvil Neidhart if you're a wrestling fan of back in the 80s. Tigers have made progress under Mr. Kolkman, but they aren't the biggest cat in the ACAC jungle. That would go to the Lions of Leo. The Purple Pride undefeated, ranked 6th in this week's 4A state poll. Lions on the road looking to stay perfect against 3-2 Heritage, a team that I think is better than that record. Check this out, 14-zip Leo at the half, and then Leo's Ryan Leiter to Gage Corner. Gotta like that if you're a Leo fan. A couple plays later, though, it's Will Kanapke. Spells his name W-I-L. So fast he actually lost the last L a few years back, and it hasn't caught up with him. Nice play by Mr. Kanapke, but still 14-zip Leo. Then it's Leiter to who else? His favorite receiver, Gage Corner. This would make it 21-zip late in the third. Travon Carr had 168 yards rushing and a touchdown as Leo improves to 6-0, 24-7. The final score.
Well, with Leo's dominance, scared a little under the radar at 5-0, but the big train taking on Woodland tonight. A little rainy up in out in Woodland. Brock Hines, he hooks up with TJ Sewell. Big touchdown for the Warriors as they grabbed a 10-0 lead. An upset possibly in the making, but then Todd Fricke takes the handoff, and Todd Fricke goes into the end zone. What is that, his 900th touchdown this season?
21st, but all he has is a touchdown.
It's close. How about Moreau to Fricke again? He puts it into the end zone. The big train continues to roll undefeated. 35-16 the final.
Adams County supremacy on the line. South Adams at Adams Central in Monroe. And this would be some South Adams offense right here. Justin Wygant, why not? 85 yards. And we're talking it's just a minute 36 into the first quarter, and South Adams already has a 7-zip lead. Not a good place to be. It would be the Jet sideline at that point. How about this? South Adams again. This one goes 76 yards. Cole Farlow. It's 14-zip Starfires in the first, and South Adams goes on to get the win, 38-20.
Bluffton facing an old ACAC rival. The Tigers hosting Southern Wells. And, you know, I was trying to get a beauty shot here of the wonderful sunset with a wonderful touchdown. Well, it's still a touchdown. There was a fumble into the end zone, recovered by Tanner Fear. Tigers take a 7-0 lead. You know, it's all about the effort, right?
Fear the beard.
How about the Raiders? Answer, Trevor Furnish to Clayton Hamilton. That's a little prettier. 43-yard touchdown, 8-7 Southern Wells after one. Olay, but then Ryan McCarthy takes over. 103 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 310 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. That's 418 all-purpose yards as Bluffton sails into a win with a touchdown in the final minutes. 41-40 the final.
If you're wearing a sombrero, that means it's really, really Southern Wells. Moving on to the NECC, Busco undefeated, hosting West Noble. They had reason to dance in Turtletown. Eagles up to start the second half. Jason Nicodemus gets the carry. Now, he'd go 54 yards on this one and be down at the 1. They would score on a short Josh Lefevre TD. Nicodemus, 146 yards, a pair of touchdowns. Lefevre would score many, many, many ways today. Check this one out. Lefevre, the INT, runs it back to make it 42-zip Eagles. He also had a kickoff return for a touchdown and also passed for a touchdown. Lefevre, take him to the Magic Wand, somebody in Churubusco. Get him a Magic Burger. Busco undefeated, 62-25.
Let's go to the NCC as Huntington North hosts Marion, and the Giants, who are in control in this one, they add to their lead just before the half. Marcus Mabel going to take it in for the touchdown. The Giants were up 26-7, and maybe the only bright spot for the Vikings. How about Allen and Shelby, kings of the court tonight? Marion gets the win in this one, 32-14, the final.
So we're done here in the state of Indiana, but we've got some Buckeye State action on the zone tonight.
That's right. For our viewers in Ohio, one of the biggest rivalry games each year, Antwerp and Hicksville. It's a game so big, we brought back Rod Hissar. He's our Ohio football correspondent. He's back and has more from Ohio.
Hey, glad to be back. It's the Battle of Highway 49. It's no secret the Archers and the Aces, they don't really like each other. Hicksville coach Lucas Smith, former leader at Woodland. Antwerp coach Kyle Beauchamp, former mentor at Wayne. Let's go to Hicksville. Aces 2-2 on the year. Antwerp winless. It's only week 5 in Ohio, by the way. Opening kickoff, Dean Conley. He's off to the races. Nobody going to touch him. That's his 3rd kick return touchdown in the last 2 weeks. He'd have 3 total touchdowns on the day. Aces up 6-zip. Ensuing possession for Antwerp quarterback Tom Taylor. Nice pass to Troy Womack to get it to the red zone. That's as close as Antwerp would sniff in the half. Justin Miller for the Aces now the next possession. He'd have 4 total touchdowns on the night. Here's the middle screen to Seth Klepper. First of 2 touchdowns in the evening for him. Hicksville out early, 13-0. And then they're going to do it on the ground. That's Nick Post from the 1-yard line. It was 27-0 through 1. It was 55-0 at the half. And the final was 68-0. So 49 still going to go through Hicksville. They still win. Hey, more highlights coming up next.
Coming up. Go Aces!
You know, if you set a record, it could possibly be the play of the week, and it is the play of the week. Let's go back out to Lewers Field and Mr. James Kanapke. He had tied the SAC record earlier in the game, and with this pass to Jalen Smith, James Kanapke becomes the career leader in the SAC and also in Bishop Lewis school history, passing a guy named Kyle Lindsey. James Kanapke and Lewers rolling 41-7 the final in a record-breaking night.
All right, so Bishop Lewis has its work cut out next week as Northside, who already has beaten Dwenger. They've already beaten Snyder. Now they're going to try for the trifecta and beat Bishop Lewis. That game at Chambers Field. Dwenger's at Indianapolis Chatard, Indianapolis Cathedral, coming to Snyder. That's a Saturday game. Carroll at Homestead, a huge game in the NHC. And Garrett at South Adams. The big train just continues to roll.
Hands down the biggest week of the year. Can we have 5 games of the week?
6 or 7. Why not?
6 or 7. We'll try and cover them all.
We'll have it next
week.
week.